So I want to just say to all of you, come up here. Come up here. I don't have my back to you. Join us here and play. So I want to make this all about play. So I need to start with saying aloha.
Aloha!
So aloha is about love. It's hello, it's goodbye, it's just love. It's saying I love you. So begin sharing the love with everybody that you meet. So I've been going to Hawaii since 2017, mostly for the winters, and I'll just say I manifested that. Manifested it. Staying with friends and stuff for months or the winter and whatnot. And my first trip there in 2017 is because I was very, very sick. I had 4.5 years of Lyme disease, and then in that time I also had a mini stroke, and then in that time I also had a mild heart attack. And all through that, I also had celiac disease also. And doctors were, saying, you need to do this and this, and I say now it was my dharma, my path, my journey to be doing what I'm doing today, and being the crazy person in the hospital telling the doctor I'm having a stroke or a heart attack, don't put any drugs in me, don't put a needle in me, don't put anything in me. And that eventually led me to Hawaii, because I just wanted to be well. So all I wanted was to be well. And I didn't know why I was sick and why I had all of these things happening to me. And meanwhile, I started learning, reading books by Wayne Dyer, and listening to Esther Hicks. And then I found Hay House, and I found a book about writing to heal. And when I read that book about writing to heal, I was like, you can actually write? Just write? Like write in a journal? And you can heal from that? And that was what really led me to even going to, I manifested going to Maui by writing in my journal. And I was writing Reed Tracy, one day I want to meet you. He's the CEO of Hay House Publishing Company. I wrote that on February 22nd, 2017. In June, I met Reed Tracy in Maui at the writers' conference that they were putting on. And in that time, I heard about Ho'oponopono and from a Western tradition, and from the as they say, here on Turtle Island and the Howleys and people here, and when I was there, people really didn't like that. I was talking about it over there in Hawaii, because it's their tradition and their practice, and different people have put different twists and spins and whatnot on it over the years. But for me, I started just listening to music on YouTube of Ho'oponopono and just repeating it out loud along with the music. And the music was so beautiful. I was just saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I was having a really hard time with relationships in my life, with men in particular. And I was engaged and then not engaged, and then engaged and not engaged, same gentleman over a period of 8 years. And every time he would go away, I'd do the Ho'oponopono, and he'd come back and just show up at my door. I'm like, oh. And I started putting things together. And when I was in Hawaii, I stayed a couple of days with an auntie on the Big Island, and then took some classes on Maui with the Ho'oponopono, and started to see how this has really been a significant part of my journey. So my first book, The Heroine's Journey, A Tale of Love, Forgiveness, and the Implications of Universal Laws, is a product of me figuring out that I am the creator of my life. So if you aren't aware yet that you are the God, goddess, lowercase g, that you create everything. Everything good and bad that's happened to you in your life, up to this point, right here, right now, you created it. And that's a big pill to swallow when I'm like, I had Lyme disease, I created that? I created the heart attack and the stroke? And what I discovered were these natural laws. Laws that go back millions of years, right from the beginning of time. Is in every single religion and culture around the world. The golden rule. You think of me, however you treat me, however you talk to me, will come back to you, all of you. So I am just a mirror of each one of you. Everyone, we are all mirrors of each other. Law of one. So then I got thinking, I'm like, oh, one day, after having a near-death experiencing on the Big Island, Spirit showed me some things. And there was a time when my fiance, he was out with another woman, and I went up to him at a bar and said, you have a disease. And guess who had what's called a mystery disease within 10 days? It was me. Thank you. And law of cause and effect. 300,000 people a year diagnosed with Lyme disease. That was one of my discoveries. My words that I put out came back to